Hello, friends. Welcome to Practice Indies Donation Yoga. We'll get started here in just a moment. You will just need a couple of blocks for the practice today, and you may also find it helpful to have some blankets on hand as well. I tend to have some pretty sensitive hips, and so I always usually like a blanket in the middle of my mat like this. We're also going to begin in a posture that you may want a folded blanket under the tops of your shoulders and your head, and we'll get started with that soon. So this is our donation yoga. In yoga, we really believe in the power of connected community and of our influence of conscious choice and how we ripple out in circles of effect. And so rather than donating through our studio or giving only to one cause, we invite you to simply give in places that are in resonance and aligned with you. And so if you are giving to an organization today, we would love for you to drop that in the comments and let us know how you're connected and how you're serving, and in turn we can all see and learn and feel how we are connected together. So we'd love to know that in the comments. This will be a 60-minute vinyasa flow, which means we'll move through a series of postures together. This is going to be, this is an all levels class, and so this is not a space where we're going to really get to the deepest cardio challenge. Rather, the point of this particular flow, as we're focusing on stairyam and steadfastness, and creating a sense of stability in our postures. And so we're going to really stay with the breath. We're going to stay with the body. This will be a very rooted, embodied flow as we move through today. So if you've got everything set, there should be music in the description. If you'd like to click on that, you are welcome to do so. I will go ahead and drop it in the chat as well, just in case and that keyboard doesn't work. I'm having very special technical things today. All right, there's some music there if you like it. So with that, we are going to begin, and I invite you particularly to bring, if you've got a couple blankets around, to bring some under your hips and to bring some under your head and neck. And in fact, I'm going to roll the bottom of this up to really support my neck in a little more structured way. So with that, we're going to bring the hips down and come down to the mat, making sure that your blocks are handy as well. And in fact, I'm going to shift them down to either side of me here and adjust the roll underneath the neck. Perfect. I'm noticing that my shoulders are really coming up towards my ears. So I'm just going to lift each of the shoulders, slide the shoulder blade down the back, and return my shoulders back to the mat. And once I've got my upper torso taken care of and supported, I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together, letting my knees go wide out to either side. And then I'm going to bring the block underneath to support. Beautiful. Once you find yourself in this position, letting the arms simply come out to either side, palms facing the sky, open and ready to receive. Begin to connect to the wave of your breath, the rhythm and the presence of your heartbeat. Breathing in fully through the nose, following the breath down through the throat, down along the central column, through the lungs and the heart, into the belly, into the diaphragm, into the low belly, even deep down into the pelvic bowl. And as you exhale, allowing yourself to release and let go. Settle deeper into the support of your body. Noticing the textures and contours within yourself. Following the pathway and the sensation of your breath. With each inhalation, letting the body fill and open and expand. With each exhalation, allowing yourself to soften as you let yourself be held here. Perhaps giving yourself permission to set aside any tensions or preoccupations. Perhaps as you listen to the rhythm of your heart, connecting to any intention you have for your practice, for your breath, for your life in this moment. And then feeling the flow of life within you, letting that intention be integrated and felt. We've been exploring this element of Styrium this week, this steadfastness in our practice and also in the practice of being who we are. Yoga gives us the opportunity to have a direct experience of being who we are, just as we are. And while that seems like it should be a very simple and universal experience, it's actually this heartbeat by heartbeat revolution. To drop the expectations and judgments, to find what is true for each of us, and to allow our awareness to grow and expand, to understand, to receive that we are whole and complete, just as we are, even if our minds sometimes struggle to really grasp that. And so as you feel the fullness of your breath here, let yourself feel and know that wholeness. I invite you to bring your attention and awareness to the base of your spine, your sacrum, that lowest part of your back and spine pressing into your mat. Imagine roots growing from that space and growing from the soles of your feet deep down into the earth, through the mud and the dirt, through the layers of rock and stone, the layers of water, deep down into the heart, the core of the earth, this incredible dynamic energy, this flow that nourishes and feeds and builds the momentum for all of life. And as you find yourself connected through your roots, with each inhalation, imagine all that light and energy, that deep momentum and flow traveling up through your roots and filling your body. Bringing with it a sacred fire. Bringing with it light and heat. Bringing with it movement and flow. Letting yourself be fully resourced here. I invite you to experience 3 more really deep, full breaths, being fully connected and filled from this depth within the earth.
Taking one more deep, full inhalation in, filling up completely, pausing at the top of the breath, sipping in even deeper, filling up. As you exhale, sigh it out the mouth, let it all go. And your thumb and your forefinger pads together. Beginning to wiggle the fingers and toes. Bring your hands to the outer edges of your thighs and begin to help your knees come back together. Bringing the soles of your feet back to your mat. Setting your blocks aside. Bringing your hands to your belly. As you breathe in, feel the billowing and the expansion of the belly. As you exhale, letting it go. Begin to look over to the left, bringing the left ear to the ground, and shifting your gaze over to the right. And again, back to the left. We're just going to begin with this little rocking motion through the head and the neck. Just letting the back of your skull press into the earth. Noticing the movement through your neck and your cervical spine. Again, letting that breath and inhalation be full. Letting that breath and exhalation be long. And just letting your skull and your mind soften here as you move through your head and your neck. Not moving too quickly, not moving too long. Just letting yourself find flow here from side to side. Continuing that movement with the head. When you look over to the right, move your knees to the left. And then switch them opposite of your gaze as you go from side to side. So adding a little windshield wiper action, but also adding the contrast of going in the other direction. Actually, despite the fact that it's an opposite direction, it actually keeps you balanced. And filling up with the breath, letting it go. Just noticing how it feels to move your body here. In this posture of being supported, while also still being in movement. 3 more breaths here. And allowing your gaze and your knees to go back up to the sky. Invite the knees to come into the chest, hugging them in, rocking from side to side, just feeling that sacrum rooted to the earth as you bring bigger movement into your pelvis. Taking one more deep, full inhale in, one more big sigh out the mouth. And then allowing yourself to fall over to a side of your choice. Pausing here in this fetal position. Giving your head and neck some support. Feeling through 2 rounds of breath. Once again, remembering the support of the earth beneath you.
constant presence of your breath and your heartbeat. Next exhalation, gently pressing yourself back up to seated. Feeling free to face the front of your mat. I'm going to face all of you, just so that you can actually see the movement as we go in. Coming into a gentle seated position, legs come gently to cross, spine goes tall. Shoulders come away from the ears. Inhale fully here. Exhale, release with the breath. On your next inhalation, you're going to bring your heart and your chest out towards your right knee, then opening the chest as you fill with the breath towards the left knee. And as you begin to exhale, you're going to press and round through the chest, coming back around. So we're going to go in a giant circle with the heart. Inhale as we come forward and around. Exhale as you begin to hollow through the belly, rounding through the chest. Beginning with these gentle rolls through the body. The end of this breath, pause and switch directions. Coming out forward or from the left to the right. One more round of breath here. And coming back to seated. Growing tall through the spine. Inhale, extend the arms up overhead, reaching through the fingertips. As you exhale, left hand goes behind, right hand comes forward, twisting to the left. Inhale, coming through center. Exhale, twisting through the right. Just coming to this version of awkward twist just through the arms and the chest. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale, flowing to the center. Exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale, coming through center, releasing that flow. As you exhale, twisting to the left, right hand finds left knee, left hand plants behind the spine. Growing tall through the spine with your inhalation, going deep with your twist on the exhalation, softening through that right shoulder, softening through the jaw. One more deep, full inhalation. As you exhale, release back to center. Inhale, extending the arms overhead. As you exhale, twisting to the right, left hand finds right knee, right hand finds the base of your spine. Softening through that left shoulder. Finding your depth here. Softening through the forehead. One more deep, full inhalation here. As you exhale, releasing back to center. Inhale, extending the arms overhead. As you exhale, twisting to the left. Finding your depth first. Then, as you're ready, extending fingertips back to the sky, beginning to bend over the right knee, coming into this gentle lateral bend, keeping the twist. Feeling that arc from the base of the left hip through to the left fingertips. Shining your gaze and your heart towards the sky. One more deep, full inhale as you reach. As you exhale, left hand slides down to the left knee or to the right knee. Rounding through the chest, sitting up tall through your spine as you exhale, gently folding over your legs, keeping the twist with the arms if you like, releasing it if you don't. Inhale, coming back through center, circling the arms up overhead as you exhale, twisting to the right. Finding your depth in the twist first. Then extending the left fingertips, beginning to bend over the right fingertips, beginning to bend over the left knee. Really keeping that right hip rooted on the mat. And feeling that long flow from the right hip bone through to the right fingertips. Gently shifting that sternum and your chest towards the sky. And your next exhale, sweeping the right hand down to the left knee, following through the chest, growing tall through the spine, gently folding forward over the legs. And then coming back to center. Coming up and over the legs, coming to our tabletop position to begin. Finding your blocks. So let's do a couple of things. Let's clear. If you had a blanket underneath your head and neck, you can remove that for the time being. You also want your blocks on your mat. And we're going to bring them to their lowest setting. You can also use some hardback books instead. And you're going to bring your palms right on the mat. So we're coming into this standard tabletop position. So hands and palms plant directly underneath the shoulders. Knees plant directly underneath the hips. We're just giving ourselves a little more space here. And we'll begin with some cat-cow flows. You inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. As you exhale, press and round through the shoulders. Inhale, crown of the head and tailbone go to the sky. Softening through the belly. As you exhale, really hollowing through the belly, tucking the tailbone here. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. So we're going to move those blocks about one palm print in front of you. And we're going to turn that basic spinal flow into a little circle flow. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. As you exhale, press and round through the shoulders, bring the hips to the heels. Inhale, bring the chest forward as you drop the belly. As you exhale, begin to press and round through the shoulders, bringing the hips back. So we're just adding in a little cat-cow child's pose flow. Feeling free to add any other movements that allow you to begin to open here. Following the flow of your breath. As you inhale, bring the head, chest, and heart through the arms. As you exhale, pressing and rounding, bringing those hips back. Letting your breath be full and deep. Letting yourself be nourished by the flow of oxygen, by the movement of the breath. One more inhale. As you exhale, bringing those hips back, staying in that child's pose for one round of breath. And coming back to that tabletop position, moving the blocks out of your way, keeping them towards the top of your mat on either side. We'll use them again a little bit later. Coming into that tabletop position, shift the left palm underneath the face, extend the right fingertips up to the sky, and then as you're ready, thread the right arm underneath the left, bringing the right temple and the right shoulder to the mat. Stretching through the back of that right shoulder. Letting the breath be full and deep. Taking in one more deep, full round of breath. And sighing out the mouth. Extending right fingers back up to the sky. And as you exhale, planting right palm underneath the face, extending left fingertips up to the sky. As you exhale, threading that left arm through, finding your depth here. One more deep, full inhale. And a big sigh out the mouth. Extending left fingertips back up to the sky. And then coming back to that tabletop position. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips up and back, coming to your first down dog. Begin to pedal out through the feet, bending through the left knee, bringing the right heel towards the ground, and then switching, letting the left heel go long, bending through the right knee. Just pedaling through the feet, reaching through your hips, letting your low belly come to your thighs as you extend the hips to the back of the room. As you exhale, gaze comes forward as you begin to tiptoe forward, planting the feet behind the hands, coming to your first forward fold. Inhale, palms come to the shins as you extend from tailbone through crown of the head. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms come to connect overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Taking the opportunity, making sure you've got what you need. Your block should be to the top of your mat. If you want to keep the blanket in the middle of your mat, you're welcome to do so. I am going to do that. You can also release that if you prefer to just simply flow on your mat. So, allowing yourself to be supported here. Bring your attention and awareness to the soles of your feet. They're planted hip-width distance apart, directly under the hips. So shoulders, hips, and feet come into alignment, although the shoulders are slightly broader. Bring your hands to your hips. Begin to shift the weight forward into the toes and the balls of the feet. And then shift the weight back into the heels, lifting the toes. And shifting over to the right edges of the feet. And then the left edges of the feet. And then root all four of those corners of the feet into the mat. Bring your palms to face forward as you bring your arms down by your sides. Slight tuck of the tailbone as you engage through the hips and the glutes. Firing up those legs. Feeling strong, standing at the ready. Inhale, circling arms up overhead. As you exhale, hands come through heart center as you bow forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, growing from tailbone through crown of the head. Exhale, folding forward. Planting the hands, stepping back, plank pose. Inhale as you bring those hips into alignment, pulling in through your core. As you exhale, knees, chest, chin, go to the ground, pranam. Inhale, lifting the head, chest, and heart. As you exhale, tuck the toes, coming through a tabletop, traveling into your downward dog. Inhale here, raising that right foot to the back of the room. As you exhale, stepping the right foot forward, and then grounding the left knee, untucking the left toes. Really shifting that weight forward, coming into a low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, extend the arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, bring the hands inside the right leg and begin to shift forward and around in a circle, eventually extending through that front leg. So we're just drawing a big circle with the hips. A circle both forward and back and left to right, almost like a spear with your pelvis. Just really feeling in to the depth of your hips, creating a little flow. Breathing in fully and deeply, exhaling completely. Beautiful. Coming back to that Anjaneyasana, that lunge position with the legs, walk your hands out towards the left edge of your mat at a diagonal, and then shift those hips back, coming into a modified child's pose. Kind of a version of lizard and child's pose together. We're just really opening through the hips. And then next exhale, bring those hands back inside that right leg. Lifting the hips up back, coming into that low lunge, extending arms up by the ears. As you exhale, framing that front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, then step forward, forward fold. Inhale to lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands come through, heart center, bow, forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Planting the hands, stepping back, plank pose. As you exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, keeping that booty lifted. Exhale here. Inhale with the head, chest, and heart. Broadening through the chest, sliding the shoulder blades down the back. As you exhale, coming to your down dog. Inhale, lifting that left foot to the back of the room. Stepping it forward, coming into that low lunge, grounding the back knee, untucking the back toes. Bringing those hips forward first. Inhale, extend the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, planting the hands inside that left foot, and begin to move into that circular flow with the hips. Just shifting the weight forward and back and around. Exploring yourself. There's no perfect posture here. This is a flow of embodiment, of getting really deep into your own root. Thinking about that space in and around the tailbone and the pelvis. Bringing the breath in fully. Then bringing those hips forward once again, walking the arms out to the right side of your mat this time. And then just gently coming into that variation of child's pose and or lizard. You're tracking the hips back towards the heels, but you may not get anywhere near them. So keep the depth of your breath. On your next exhalation, bringing those arms back up. Coming into that low lunge once again, extending arms up by the ears, bringing those hips forward. As you exhale, frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. We're going to shift into a balancing posture and into more of a standing sequence flow. So rooting all four corners of your feet once again, bringing your hands to your hips first. You're going to shift your weight over to the left and find a space, find a point, at least a couple feet in front of you that's not going to move. Let the solidity and the rootedness of that object hold your gaze and bring you stability. And as you shift that weight fully into the left foot, bring the right heel either to the heel of the left foot, to the ankle, or sliding that right foot to the shin, to the knee, or to the thigh of the left leg. If you bring it to the knee, or really any of the spaces, what you want to do is really bring attention to your midline. You don't want to put too much pressure or ask too much of the left side. We don't want to shift our weight all the way over to the left. We want to keep strength here. We want to rest and rely on the stability of that standing leg. Imagine those roots growing deep down through the left heel down into the earth. And then as you're ready, extending your arm, growing your branches, letting your fingers splay open. Breathing in fully. As you exhale, hands connect and then travel to heart center as you take a big step back with the right foot opening to warrior two. So rooting that full back foot at a 90-degree angle, letting it be parallel with the short edge of your mat, letting hip points and shoulder points be in alignment, extending through the arms, finding balance here. And then we're going to bring our weight forward into the front foot, backward into the back leg. And just begin to shift and flow through your hips here. Breathing in, exhaling, finding a little flow. Letting it not be perfect, but actually just feeling your way through. And coming back to that warrior two, finding that balance and stability. Flip the front palm, straighten through the front leg as you exalt into sky archer. Inhale fully. Exhale, left forearm comes to left thigh as you extend right fingertips either to the top of the room, to the ceiling, or to the front of the room. Really noticing the depth of your bend in your left leg. Notice if you have a tendency to come out and really let it be deep. Inhale fully. As you exhale, bring the right hand to the ground inside the left foot or to a block and lift the back heel coming to the back toes. Once you have that lunge, extend left fingertips up to the sky. Inhale fully. Exhale completely, framing that front foot, stepping the back foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Beginning to shift the weight to the right, finding that point, that immovable point, that drishti, that focal point to keep your balance. Engaging through that standing leg. Bring the left edge of the foot, the left sole of the foot to the edge of the right leg. Finding your balance, engaging through your standing leg, growing those roots down deep to be rooted but to flow. As you're ready, growing your branches. Inhale fully. Exhale completely as you take a big step back with that left foot, warrior two. Once again, feeling that alignment first. And then allow yourself to shift your weight forward and shift your weight back. Adding in the arms as you're ready. Just letting yourself find flow here. So often we focus on getting into the end position, but so much of the journey of yoga and the journey of life is how we're getting there. So let the purpose be the emphasis of your movement and feeling your way instead of trying to perfect your position. Releasing that movement, coming back to that warrior two, feeling strong and rooted. As you exhale, flip the front palm, straighten through the front leg, exalt into sky archer. Inhale fully as you reach with the right fingertips. As you exhale, coming into extended side angle. One more deep full inhale. As you exhale, sweeping that left hand down, finding a block if you need it, lifting the back heel, coming into that twisted lunge, extending right fingertips up to the sky. You can always drop the back knee down if you need more stability. Inhale fully. Exhale, framing that front foot, stepping forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Once again, coming to tree on the right side, we're going to shift the weight to the left. Coming to our standing position first, growing our branches as we're ready. Inhale, reaching through the fingertips. As you exhale, we're going to play with this and bring the right arm behind, left arm forward. Inhale, coming back through center. Exhale, left hand comes behind, right hand comes forward. Notice what happens to your balance. And notice your response. Inhale, coming back through center. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. Take a big step back into that warrior two. Flowing into that warrior two. Letting your weight shift from side to side, maybe adding more fluidity through the arms or through the body in general. Feeling the flow of your breath, the rhythm of your body, the presence of breath and heartbeat within you, that steadfast presence of life. Coming back to that warrior two, flipping through the front palm, exalting into sky archer, straightening through the front leg. Really reaching through that long arc of the body. And then as you exhale, cartwheeling the hands down, lifting the back heel, coming to that twisted lunge towards that front leg. Inhale fully. As you exhale, sweeping the left hand down, removing the block if you have it, coming to a wide leg forward fold towards the long edge of your mat. Bringing both your toes to point towards the side of the room. Inhale, halfway lift, tenting through the palms. Exhale, fold. Shifting the weight over to your back leg. Come into a side lunge. Now maybe you keep the the hips relatively lifted, or if you like, you can really bring them down, pointing through the front toes. Really feeling that length of the left leg. Feeling that inner groin. As you exhale, bring those hips back up to the sky as you come back to that wide leg forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Walking the hands around, pointing through the front toes, lifting the back heel, coming into a runner's lunge. You can use your blocks here if you like. Inhale fully as you engage through the inner thighs, pulling them towards each other. As you exhale, step the back foot forward into that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, really growing through the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. Setting up for the other side, begin to shift your weight towards the right, finding your tree on this side. As you're ready, growing your branches, finding that drishti, that focal point, engaging through that standing leg, growing through your roots, engaging the front and the back and the glute of that right leg. Inhale fully as you find stability. As you exhale, we challenge it as you bring that right hand forward, left hand back. Inhale through center. And as you exhale, left hand comes forward, right hand comes behind. Perhaps if you fall out of it, notice the mind chatter. Notice any potential judgments. And also let that go. Inhale, coming back through center. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. You take a big step back with that left foot, warrior two. Inhale to find stability. And then as you exhale, we're going to really flow here. So shifting your weight forward and back. Moving through the arms in whatever way serves you. Rolling through the shoulders and the chest. This is a space to feel into your body here. To feel that sense of being supported right where you are. One more big full inhale. As you exhale, coming back to that warrior two. Flipping through the front palm, straightening through the front leg, exalting into sky archer. As you exhale, right arm comes to right thigh as you extend into extended side angle. On your next exhale, begin to bring that left hand down, coming into that twisted lunge, lifting through the back heel. Inhale fully. As you exhale, sweeping that right arm down, coming to that wide leg forward fold to the back, to the other side. Toes pointing to the other long edge of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, extending through the spine, tenting through the palms. Exhale, fold. Inhale fully. As you exhale, begin to shift the hips towards the back of your mat, finding your depth here. Remembering there's no right or wrong. The point here is to honor yourself, your body, your capacity, and to know and trust and remember that it is enough. One more deep full inhalation. As you exhale, shifting those hips back up to the sky. Inhale fully. As you exhale, bringing the hands around to the front, bringing those right toes back to the front of your mat, peeling up through that back heel, runner's lunge. Inhale as you engage, as you bring the inner thighs towards each other. As you exhale, stepping forward, forward fold. Inhale to lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, circling the arms up overhead. As you exhale, diving forward, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Planting the hands, stepping back, plank pose. Feel free to drop the knees if you like. Inhale to engage the core. Exhale, lowering to the ground. Inhale, lift the head, chest, and heart. Exhale, bringing those hips to your heels, coming into a child's pose. Perhaps letting the knees go wide, creating more space for your torso. Feeling the flow of your breath here. One more deep round of breath here. Then coming back to the palms, coming to that tabletop position. Coming down to the elbows and the forearms, clasping the hands together. Inhale, extend the right foot up and begin to bend and open through that right knee, to open through the right hip. Feeling that engagement of the core and the upper body, even as you find that freedom and expansion through the hip. And then as you exhale, you're going to come back to your palms. Bring the right knee forward behind the right palm, extending left foot behind the left palm, letting that shin and calf of the leg, that lower part of the leg, come across your mat, setting up for pigeon. Inhale, growing tall through the spine, perhaps tenting through the palms. As you exhale, begin to fold forward over that leg. If you need a little extra support through the right hip, you can bring one of your blocks or a folded blanket behind it. And begin to notice the sensations through the right hip, through the pelvis. Notice if you have a tendency to disconnect from your body in this posture of challenge. We tend to hold a lot of tension, a lot of constriction in our hips and our pelvis. And so when we tap into that, when we palm and begin to enter into that space, sometimes we immediately disconnect. And so I invite you to bring your breath into that space, to once again fill the breath fully through the body, into the pelvic bowl, into the tailbone. Letting the breath expand and open you through the hips. Letting it connect your awareness to, in fact, meet yourself and your breath within you. Two more rounds of breath here. And begin to gently lift the torso, planting the palms underneath the shoulders, tucking the back toes, shifting the back knee a little forward to just give you a little more space in your hips. And then lifting that right knee, sliding it back under the right hip. You can kind of sweep that lower right leg underneath the left knee. Then take a big step back, planting those right toes to the back of your mat, shifting your weight forward, shifting your weight back. Then planting back into that tabletop position. Bringing the elbows back to your mat, clasping through the hands, letting your forearms and your upper body support you. Extend the left leg to the back of the room. Begin to stack and open through that hip. Flexing through the left ankle, tracking the left heel towards the left glute. And then as you exhale, gently coming back up to your palms, planting the left knee behind the left palm, the left foot behind the right hand. Untucking the back toes. Inhale, extending through the spine, tending through the palms, broadening through the chest. As you exhale, fold forward. Noticing if you need support here. Letting the breath flow in and the breath flow out. Noticing the sensations here. Two more rounds of breath here. Coming back up onto your palms, raising through the torso. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, slide it just a couple inches forward to give you a little more space. Floating that left knee back under your hips, sweeping the lower left leg. And taking a big step back with those left toes, planting them and then rocking from the weight forward and back. Coming back to that tabletop position, let the knees go wide, let the hips sink back, child's pose. Feeling 3 rounds of breath here. Coming back to that tabletop position, crossing the legs behind you, coming to a seated position. And allowing yourself to lower down to your mat, down to your back, planting the soles of your feet, gently lowering, coming to a supported landing space. Once you find your way to your back, inviting the knees to come into the chest. Then free to open into a happy baby here, or any other final postures that would allow this practice to feel like completion for you. Feeling the invitation to be playful if you are in that happy baby. Maybe rocking from side to side. Maybe straightening through one leg, then the other. Once again, remembering there's no right or wrong. Hugging the knees back into the chest. And then as you're ready, extending the legs long on the mat, letting the feet splay open, sliding the shoulder blades down the back, opening through the chest, letting the arms come to either side, palms once again facing the sky. If you like, you can connect those roots from your tailbone, from the soles of your feet deep down into the earth. And then release any tendency to consciously effort through the breath in the body. To truly let yourself release and open to receive. To have a space to integrate. have a space to be as you are and to remember that it is enough. To feel that steadfast presence of life through your breath, through your heartbeat, through the movement of your body and soul. As we go into the silence together. Once again, I invite you to connect to the wave of your breath, the rhythm and the presence of your heartbeat. Beginning to wiggle through the fingers and toes. Next exhalation, inviting the arms to extend overhead, feeling the spaciousness and breadth and depth from the soles of your feet through to your fingertips.
Feeling that stretch from toes to your fingers. And then inviting the knees to come back into the chest, hugging them in, feeling that extension of care. And then begin to rock from side to side, really feeling that sacrum rooted to the earth. On your next exhalation, allowing yourself to fall over to a side of your choice, pausing there, breathing. In this posture of rebirth, we are reminded that we begin again in every breath, with choice, with sovereignty, with wholeness. With your next exhale, invite yourself to come to seated in whatever way serves you. Bring your palms to connect in front of your heart. Left palm in union with right palm. Slight tuck of the chin as you bow towards your heart. Remembering that steadfast presence of life and that sense of stability from the inside out. Always and in always present. Always and in always supporting. Freely available, fully offered. Right where you are. Namaste in its simplest form means the light in me honors and acknowledges the light in you. Bringing thumbs to third eye center between the eyebrows and the forehead, bowing forward to seal your practice. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Thank you for coming to our practice today. Thank you for joining us from wherever and whenever you are. I hope you enjoyed your experience and find some appreciation for your willingness to show up for yourself. Once again, we invite you to share how you are connected and giving to your community around you. We'd love to hear about that. Feel free to drop it in the chat and the comments. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Namaste.